Hey, everybody, don't get anxious, get prepared. Your career engineer right here. And thank you for joining us today as we have a conversation about some real talk about our career future. Even though right now, so many people are thinking about, oh, let me fix my camera just a little bit, making that big migration, jumping, going from one job to another, or tapping into their values and finding the right work for their vocation and occupation can come together. But in the middle of that, for so many folks right now, there's still a spirit of fear. There's still a spirit of being scared about the future. And I thought it might be a good idea as we're coming into, another new season soon to deal with that. Like what makes us so scared? Like what is our, what makes us like most fearful, most scared about the future? And for our conversation, the future of our career. And career can mean business, career can mean your entrepreneurship, whatever thing you do that's the livelihood of your family, how you make a living, how you take care of your bills, how you feed your family, like what you doing today to help bring in income to your family. So we're going to dive into that today. And again, if you have questions or comments, we'd love to get them, whether they're now or later. You can always send that to info@tcenow.com anytime. And you never know, we might take your question or your comment or your thought and do a show about it because what you think matters. So we're looking forward to having this great conversation. Remember, don't get anxious, get prepared. We're talking today. In fact, let me just pull this up. I think it's very important. And did I pull? Well, let's see. Yeah, we really want to get into this. What scares you most about your future? What scares you most about your future? So y'all know what I like to do next. I'm all about pushing them buttons so we can jump into our conversation. So watch this. Don't go anywhere. See, it's all good. What it's all good all day long. So yeah, remember you can find us anywhere and everywhere at tcenow.com. We're looking forward to having great conversations with you and helping you to make sure you're not anxious but prepared in your career and life admins, because that's what it's all about, not being anxious but being prepared. So on that note, let's see. Let's talk about this project, this topic. I blogged about it. I also shared it on another television episode for someone. And I just think it's really important to make sure we know what we can do to get ourselves in the position to not be fear, but fierce, right? Like go to being fierce in your career, your life, and business. And that involves some strategy. That involves some internal soul searching, no doubt. That involves us, getting the confidence and the competence, squared shoulders and courageous enough to go out there and make it happen. But there is some other things we need to do about that. It's about a knowledge. We got to acquire some knowledge about who, us, right? Our product, what it is we're selling. I know for me, some of my past experience has been I was often most fearful of what I didn't know. And sometimes in the career space, the thing we don't know is us. So we're going to definitely hit that too. And again, as you see our scroll below, if you want to find out any information about us or who we are and what we do, feel free to hit down there. And I think I've had this banner up here a hot minute, right? To subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a beat about anything. So before we jump into our conversation today, I definitely want to hit you with this push up. Yes, knowledge is power, but action begets change. Knowledge is power, but action begets change. So I want you all to think about that push up as you go about your day, your week, your month, and think of ways you can incorporate that into all the wonderful things you're doing in your career, your life, and business. But this push up really applies to what we're getting into right now because I really want to make sure that we're able to transition the fuel that we're using, the energy we're using from being scared and fearful about tomorrow, whatever tomorrow may bring. And I understand we've been through something from at the time you're watching this, it could be after the big something or in the middle of it. But I know we've all been through something and it can make us fearful, but we've got to be able to transition that energy to go from fear to fear. So one of the first things I think is very important for all of us, I know are you scared? Okay, let's see. Maybe I'm scared of this coffee cup, which has the word hope on it, right? Maybe I am, but so what? I'm gonna face that fear and do it anyway. So the coffee cup is here, but I want to go over here and pick something up, or I want to go over here and submit something, or I want to go over here and push the button. Yeah, I'm afraid of this, but I'm still. Why would I So what I don't want to do is have this in front of the button that I have to push. This, I'm afraid, okay, I'm going to put it over here. You see what I'm saying? So feel the fear and face it anyway. Exposure, there's some psychological background in all this, right? But gentle exposure to the thing you're most fearful of actually reduces its power over you. So, okay, you're scared, admit it. I'm afraid of this cup, but I'm not going to let this cup keep me from pushing the button or going to this place. I need to face the fear, feel it if you need to, but face it anyway. Don't let this say, well, you're right. I'm not going to do the next thing I'm going to do. I'm going to go back in in my bed, put the covers over my head and repeat the same behavior that had me static the day before. So feel the fear and do it anyway. And here's why. Here's why we need to do this. I'll face the fear. I should say. Well, feel it and face the fear, right? You got to do both. We can't create tomorrow. Here's something I don't know. Maybe the pandemic just raised this up to our eye level, right? Like maybe we thought we were in control of tomorrow. Maybe we thought we had the divine power to make Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. Well, we can't. We have no control. We don't. Just release that from yourself. Like let it go. Okay, let it go. I'm all about planning. Y'all know I'm all about strategic. I'm all about intentional. I'm all about action. Y'all know that. But I know I have no control over today, Monday. But I am here and I can impact it. I can impact it and I can prepare for it and I can plan for it, which I'm doing. I mean, I'm here today because I made a plan. I could easily say, nope, scared, not going to do nothing today. No, Monday will come whether I have any comment about it or not. It's going to show up without my input at all. However, how I manage it, okay, how I, my reactions to it, that I can work out. I've got some power over that. So our preparing and our planning is one of the best way to get on top of fear. It also is one of the best ways to get on top of anxiety as well. Y'all know my whole saying, right? Don't get anxious, get prepared. Well, that's how you reduce being anxious. The more prepared you are, and the more you feel, the more you're prepared because you put some. What was our push up earlier? What was my push up? Yeah, knowledge is power, but action brings change. When we get that power, when we are prepared for something, we have a little bit more confidence and courage and competence to do the thing we need to do. All right. It's about preparation. I mean, preparation is the secret sauce, y'all. Preparation is really the secret sauce. Number two, outside of facing that fear and doing it anyway, you can't sell what you don't know. It's impossible. It is totally impossible to sell what you don't know. And what are we selling? In our career futures, we're selling us. In our businesses, what are we selling? We're selling us. Yeah, I might have this really great coffee cup that's wonderful. But there's probably 1,000 people that make this same coffee cup. Why would you buy it from me? There's something unique about my way of selling this coffee cup, right? Or if this is my career brand, this is my knowledge build. Oh, wow, that was funny. This is my knowledge, skills, and abilities. There's something really unique about the way I do my KSAs. But I don't know my gifts, my talents, and those things, that can be a very scary place. Like the IDK lifestyle can be very scary. I don't know. Is everything like, I don't know. How can you base stuff on IDK? It's just pretty much impossible to do that. So when you are unaware of your gifts and your talents, you haven't taken the time to know the product, which is you. I mean, again, gifts, talents, your intuition, your instinct, your temperament, your personality, your character, yes, your certifications, yes, your education and degrees and all that wonderful stuff. Yes, the experiences and your different industries or your transferable skills in those industries. If you don't know how to navigate and manage and manipulate those in a positive way, using manipulation in a positive way, the IDK lifestyle is very scary. If you don't, what we should say when we were kids, the more you know, the more you grow, right? So what if you keep a question mark somewhere because you haven't taken the time to, what was my thing to say? You can't sell what you don't know because you haven't taken the time to know this product, like truly know it in and out. That's scary. So how can we fix that? Know who you are and what you bring. Know it. Spend some time with it. Number three, value is that's the V word. That's the V word. That's going to be the V word all year long and next year and year after. It's about value. It's not about feelings. It's not about entitlement. It's not about ego. It's about value. Value. What value do you bring? When you know your value, I'm smiling, right? Could you see that? Like just the smile said it all, right? When you know your value, you're not as scared or anxious about things. When you don't know your value, you're all over the place. You'll believe anything somebody tells you about you and more. Okay. So value is what sells. Value helps your career future go in the way that you are designing or preparing for it to go. When you don't know your value, then you become vulnerable. You'll become vulnerable to anything. And you begin to do these types of things when you're vulnerable. You'll have a very unfocused or some desperate career journey. And when you're unfocused and desperate and anxious and don't and IDK, you're gonna be scared in your career forever and ever and ever because you're not prepared. Okay, because you're not prepared. So unfocused and desperate comes with us not knowing our value. It's important, particularly in times of uncertainty, times like these, and we're probably going to have some recurrences of these. You've got to know your value. And the only way you're going to know it, spend some time with the product. Spend some time with the product. What is it about this? Well, it's got a nice little handle here. Ooh, it's actually this one has some lipstick on it, some violet lipstick. Oh, it's got the white and the gold. Oh, it's pretty heavy, or oh, it's pretty light. You got to know the value of your product, which is you, because you can't sell what you don't know. And when you don't know you, it's very scary to do things, to move up in your future. One other thing I gotta hit, there's so much in this. In fact, I have a blog post with probably about 8 little bullets, but I try to keep our YouTubes kind of short and to the point. But again, if you have a question, a comment, hit me up if you're catching us live. Send me an email again if you're catching us later. Of course, tcenow.com is how you find us. But here's what, with value comes, proof, right? We got to have some proof. I can say, oh, yes, I'm the most valuable person on the planet. Well, yeah, okay. But is there some proof on that, right? So we have to make sure our performance, that's the other P word outside of value, so you won't be vulnerable. Performance speaks. I mean, you can do this all day, and I know a lot of us do, but performance, that's the ticket. So we all are performing, right? We all have, again, I get hopefully what you've done in your career, life, or business, there's performance, there's some results. You've brought solutions to the table. You brought some processes to the table. I mean, you've brought, you've done something, right? I'm just coming from that. You've done something, right? You brought some value to the table. So if you have, most of us, and maybe it's just part of our natural us, we keep it on the average side. Okay, I only did this, or I just did this. Well, I was only a secretary. I'm only a this, that type of thing. I'm just. You ever hear yourself hearing those words? That's like, that takes away, that keeps you in the average category. You're going to have to take your average and convert it to awesome. Okay, that's what you're going to have to take your average and convert to awesome. And it is possible. You can do this. All right. You can do this, because what we're finding when I told you about value is that companies want awesome. They don't hire average. Now, we understand it's an upside down market for employers right now. They may be more open to having an average conversation than before, but please understand, the ones who are getting the good deals, the really good deals, whatever, all the good deals, whether we're talking nowadays, what we're talking about, remote working, we're talking an ultimate worker experience, all these other packages that employers are putting out there in the marketplace now, because they have to. Because, hey, finally they got the memo, right? They finally got the memo. But you need to convert your average to awesome, and you can do this. Ask yourself questions like, think about the things you've done. I mean, maybe you've been in a company a while and you've been there a long time. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe you deliver. Maybe you're great at QA. Maybe you're great. You have a wonderful detail orientation. Maybe you are someone that can be counted upon to get things done. Well, there's some awesome language in that. Maybe you led something, maybe you've collaborated, maybe you created stuff, and that creation and collaborations and the things you've led made a great end product that was successful, or maybe there's problems at the job. complex problems at the job. Maybe you bring something to the table that solved or significantly reduced the impact of the problem, you know. And it can be a tangible thing, or it could just be your character, your counted. Maybe you're really great at crisis intervention. Maybe you're really able to bring the temperature down in certain conversations and kind of get folk to come down a little bit here and have a conversation. Maybe you're great working with diverse folks, and you can reach the Z's, the Y's, the I mean, who else is it? The X's and the Boomers. I mean, maybe you can you're that bridge of communication, you know, and those are skills that you can use to share what's up. Hey, Marilyn, how are you? What's interesting is you're probably awesome. I think sometimes we have a problem talking about ourselves. Oh, we do, Marilyn. We have a big problem talking about us. And that is a whole nother conversation here. Women do for some reason. I don't know. I mean, I remember hearing about this with like my, women who are of a certain age or older than me. We have to learn that self-interest is powerful. It's okay to blow your horn. It's okay. Now there's a difference between being arrogant and all of that than being self-confident, right? Than being knowing your value. So that was like, remember my number 3. There's a big difference between egomania and knowing your value. That's being confident and competent in your skills, your knowledge, your abilities, and yourself. And when we sell those things, okay, when we sell those things, when we know who we are and what we bring, that's when we go from fear to fierce. That's when we do that huge transition from fear to fear. No matter what the economy is going through, no matter what thing that's happening that you have absolutely no control over, you know that you know who you are and what you bring, and you have that courage and your confidence to go forward. So, what does all of this mean to you? Let me do a quick recap. How we move from fear to fierce. Number one, we're going to feel the fear, coffee cup, and do it anyway. Okay. We understand we can't sell what we don't know. We got to know us. We got to know us. There's no way around that. You got to know who you are and what you bring. Do your little tea tally, my great stuff, my not so great stuff, the stuff I'm going to work on. Go ahead and be self-interested. Go ahead and be self-confident. I want you to be that. We also know that value is what wins today, not vulnerability. Just because you're anxious, desperate, and scared doesn't mean I need to care and hire you. We don't work that way. We want value in the workplace. And see, I think if people think about it from a value perspective, all those other isms go somewhere. If you bring value to my organization and I can see it in my bottom line, my middle line, and my top line, I mean, you can look like the man on the moon. I don't really care. But you bring value, you understand our corporate culture and what we're all about. So, what does this all mean for you? It means we're in control. We have the power to change the game. We can go from fear to fierce and land those amazing opportunities, which are abound right now. Every week, I think when you guys hear me talk, I say, I do not know how long this situation that we're in, this candidate market, this job seeker market is going to last. I mean, I was on a TV show this morning and I was impressed hearing a huge corporation do this, do something involving television to share with their people how awesome they are. That would never have happened had it not been for where we're going through. I mean, he's celebrating his whole people for the week on television, on radio. Who knew managers would celebrate their staff? Who knew, right? So things have changed. The employers have got the memo, and this is a great opportunity for you to be fierce and not fearful in your future. I'm excited about the future. I think it's a great. We have a lot that we have an energy happening right now, and I believe that some things are changing in our favor, but we won't be able to go get it. We can't go get it if we sitting around scared all the time. So anyway, that's what I think. So I want you all to have a fantastic week. Thank you so much for joining with me today for this conversation. Remember, you can find us everywhere. I'm going to tell you where you can find me if I can just find it really quick. There we go. TCEnow.com or of course you're watching TCE Career TV, we invite you to join our TCE network. We're really excited about it. Be a part of our community. You can save, of course, on all the things you do with us with career and business strategies and next level. And it's just a fun community. So come to our website, tcenow.com, free 14-day trial. Memberships $15 a month. You can handle that. But you'll get TCE in your cup. Like, you want me in your cup every day? I'm gonna get a TCE cup when I say that next time. And just be a part of the TCE community. We invite you to join us. And thank you so much for joining me today. And again, I look forward for any questions or comments you may have after today's show. Just reach out to us on our, on that. And I'd be more than happy to chat with you. So I want to make sure you have a great week. Make it powerful, make it purposeful, make it fierce, and make it happen. So I will see you next time. Thank you for the conversation.